There is plenty more to be discussing when it comes to transfers this week. One of which is an attacking midfielder, Christoph Baumgartner of Hoffenheim. £30 million price tag. He scored 6 times in 27 league appearances this season, and he's only 22 years old. He has a €30 million release clause. I apologise. So that's quite cheap for a player, but I don't really think he suits our profile, Bob, if I'm being honest.
Yeah, I mean, I'll agree. I tend to agree with that, like, because his age probably does, but the signings that we've been making recently are kind of pointing us in a direction where, especially with Klopp signing a new deal, he's trying to rebuild the team from a much sort of a younger age of profile. Like Fabio Carvalho, we've got Harvey Elliott in the mix, you've got Curtis Jones in the mix, so he's trying to mold those players. And then when you watch him for his team, the bits that we watch on the Bundesliga, which I'm going to be honest is not a lot. It's merely highlights or anything like that. I don't see how he comes in for that again. That money, because that money is not far off what we're talking about. Ismail Sarr, and you'd say Ismail Sarr maybe has had the rough and rigors of the Premier League, so you probably take more of a gamble on him if you're going to do anything like that. But if he was to come in again, the link there will be the manager knowing what he's. I'm sure he knows a lot about the player and how to get the best out of him if he's going to bring him in. But again, we're going to have a few people leaving in those roles. So you're looking maybe at Ox, Taki. So again, you could probably get that money from selling those two and him coming in and filling that void. So it's not completely out of the subject. But again, the profile, I'm not too sure from the signings that we've made recently anyway in those positions.
Yeah, he's been compared to Kai Havertz and Michael Ballack, two very different players to be compared to. But Matty, do you think he's got the skill set and the quality to potentially play for Liverpool in the next coming years?
I do. We were speaking before we came on about when we watched the Bundesliga after COVID. It was like the only league on. But one thing with Jurgen Klopp is anyone he signs from Germany, I trust with 100% of my heart. But when you look at this kid's stats, he's in like the 60th percentile for pressures, which is interesting. That's something that people look at. But his attacking stats, he's in like the 99th percentile for like goals and shots on target and stuff. So he's definitely someone who fits our profile. The only thing I would say is he's more of an attacking midfielder, which is similar to what Fabio Carvalho his position is. So if we bring him in as well, are them two going to be rotating, etc., etc.? Is he happy to come in and maybe not get that many minutes? Because I do think Carvalho is probably the better option, and that's basically the worst kept secret in football by the looks of it. But his profile as a footballer and his positioning and stuff, it definitely fits with what Liverpool wants and his age. The only thing that he is poor with is his passing percentiles, but Luis Diaz was terrible with his passing percentiles, and we've seen how good he can be. So I think he does fit our profile, but it's just with us already signing an attacking midfielder at 10, so to speak, this summer. I don't know if we had signed 2. That's the only thing that I'd say maybe might not happen, but he definitely fits the Liverpool profile. When you look through his stats, his stats are very Coutinho-esque.
Yeah, lots of people still think a void needs to be filled in that position. So look, it could still happen.